And I will now invite Professor Sachin Chaturvedi, Director General RIS and Director RBI to address this August gathering.
Thank you. Good evening, respected Ashishkumar Chauhan ji. It's a great pleasure to be in your beautiful building, and it's great pleasure to begin this new journey with Deepak Dwivedi ji, जो कि आज के हमारे उत्सव मूर्ति भी हैं और जिनके नेतृत्व में ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण काम जो कई भाषाओं में शुरू हुआ है वो आज हम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। ये बहुत ही प्रसन्नता का विषय है कि आज कई वक्ताओं ने लगातार दीपक जी को बधाई दी है। मैं समझता हूँ कि अगर जिस नंबर्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में, just yesterday IMF has released the numbers somewhere close to 6.5% that IMF has projected, and this 6.5% growth rate for GDP, if you see, it is far ahead of many other countries that they have identified, 9 countries that are sort of not in a way competitor, but certainly close to the peer group of G20. We find that we are the fastest economic growing nation. The system is extremely encouraging, extremely motivating, and the point that Deepak ji made in the beginning, I think at 3 levels would have to be seen, and everybody has already identified that. First, the media's role in terms of setting up the narrative, and that's where the narrative has to be captured, because India's global economic growth has to set new narratives for global economic growth and the new institutions that are coming up in the world. With BRICS, we started the new development bank, the BRICS Bank. With China, we started working on the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB. But are our narratives different from the way World Bank and IMF are? And that's where the Western media, the media which is controlling the narrative of the G7 countries, is continuously going to block the new ideas that have to come up. If you pick up last 10 years stories, which I did at my own research institute for Economist and Financial Times both, and you would find, and if you put them on a scale of negativity, they would be extremely close to each other. And this is not very different from NYT, the New York Times, which would be on far left. So from purposes that are required for Western economies expansion, all the Western media is extreme right. When it comes to economic growth and space that India is creating for economic growth and within the country, they are extremely left. So from that perspective, the idea is to discourage, the idea is to demotivate, the idea is to block all the initiatives and put them in a wrong context without any background within which India's economic growth is happening. So from that perspective, Deepak ji, this initiative of bringing together your initiatives in so many languages, six UN languages and 13 Indian languages is a great effort. My congratulations to you and to your team for getting that together. It is also important, Deepak ji, to capture Global South. We are all creating this new dimension, and Prime Minister at my own institute at RIS on 17th of November has launched a new center called Global South Center of Excellence, Dakshin. And this Dakshin is trying to take this new narrative forward in terms of sharing, as you very rightly said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and under that sort of motivating line, the idea is to share India's own development narrative with other countries. How capital has to be mobilized, how local resource mobilization has to happen, how local technology indigenization has to happen. Sharma ji, you were explaining the new shipping strength that we have accumulated, extremely important point, and that's where the naval power is. The launch of the India-Middle East Economic Corridor, IMAC, is another important narrative for connectivity and maritime security that we are talking of. These are the new initiatives that Prime Minister is thinking of. media has a major responsibility to take that forward. The time for development journalism has come now, and I think development journalism about capital, about finance, about technology, and above all, in terms of mobilization and localization of development. Agenda 2030, particularly reflecting sustainable development goals, is an important initiative for localization of development. The idea to take Professor Tiwari Gati Shakti to our neighborhood, to Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh is an important assignment we have just taken up, and our idea is to see how it goes to our immediate neighbors. So from that perspective, there are several opportunities for us to go forward and explore several dimensions that are coming up in India's economic journey. I once again congratulate you and greet all of you for this great initiative. Thank you.